What do you do when you need to make a brave decision, but you don't have all the information? Hi, this is Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome mentor. And today I'm going to talk to Emily Ann Peterson, author of Bare Naked Bravery, about reading shadows. You talk about reading shadows. What does that mean?
So my book is divided up into 3 parts. The first part is kind of like the basics of bravery. The second part is all of the 12 ingredients of bravery. And the third part are all of the tools that I use to practice bravery and to build my bravery on a daily basis. So reading shadows has to do with intuition and looking at your environment. In the example in my book I give is when I was younger, when on a Christmas Eve, I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something like that. And I happened to see a big black thing in the living room with glowing eyes. And I was terrified, ran into my parents' room and just did not wake up like the normal, 4 a.m. Let's go open Christmas presents. There was none of that. What I had seen was a massive dollhouse.
Oh my.
That was lit from the back. And so all I saw was this big dark thing that was lit from the back. And I think when we are trying to analyze our decisions, when we're being brave, we have, a lot of us, myself included, have a tendency to have this catastrophic thinking. And so we think, oh my gosh, this is totally going to turn out poorly. Or the reverse version of this is, nothing's going to go wrong. This is going to go totally wonderful. I'm not going to be broke. No. And so both of those are instances of reading shadows. You're reading your situation without all of the information.
Okay.
Yeah, and that can happen in a positive way, but it can also happen, it more often happens in a negative way.
Right.
Where people see how am I ever going to be able to do X, Y, Z or whatever. Situation.
I keep seeing this video in my head. My husband was watching one of those stupidest videos shows, and there was this guy who decided it was a really good idea to go skateboarding across a bridge fence above a frozen river.
Oh, wow.
That did not end well. Luckily the ice didn't break, but he did end up needing to have stitches in his tongue. And it was like, I think that would have been pretty obvious as a no, don't do that, but
oh my gosh.
Yeah, people do stupid things.
Well, I think when we're in the height of a brave moment or a height of a brave season, so what I call seasons of bravery, where it's just like one thing after another and you have to be brave and you have to be brave, or you have the season of divorce where you have to just you have to sign those papers and have those conversations and hire those people and talk about awkward things and uncomfortable scenarios, and part of the deal. Sometimes you do need to go through them, but it's okay to go through them with compassion, especially in light of the fact that you might be reading shadows. You might be thinking, oh, my husband is totally going to retaliate against me, and it's going to be so hard to retain custody of my children. This is going to be the worst thing ever. Well, if we are making all of these decisions and going forward with these brave feats without acknowledging which shadows we're reading and how we're reading those shadows, then we may fall through doing the equivalent of streaking to your parents' bedroom thinking, oh my gosh, there's a big monster, and it's actually a dollhouse.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah.
So there's a little bit of that when you're trying to, because making these brave feats requires you to, sometimes you have to make impulse split decisions based on the information that's around you. And most of the time you don't have all the information.
Right.
And so just acknowledging that you don't have all the information, and so you're going to make the best choice possible based on the limited amount of information you currently have. That's really compassionate.
And I talked about this in a previous video too, about being kind to yourself, because 2 years ago I was hit by a car and I had to relearn how to cross a street without having a panic attack.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was, every left turning vehicle was out to get me. So it's like, that's reading shadows. I had to constantly be kind. It's okay for me to be terrified right now. I don't have to push it, It's like...
And you had a really good reason to as well. And that's the other thing, is that people sometimes, they get these panic attacks and they think that it's their fault that they have these panic attacks, when in fact, No, you may have a really good reason for having these panic attacks. A legitimate reason. Like, of course you're terrified to cross the street. Of course you are. Of
Right.
course. Who wouldn't be?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
so that's just a totally fine thing to do.
And it's being kind to yourself in those moments where fear gets the best of you.
Hmm.
Because you can always just
And
be a little braver next time.
right. But it's also a brave thing to acknowledge that the fear is there and that it's okay to have that fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of people choose to think, or they think that they have to deny the existence of the fear in order to get what they want. And that's not
Right.
always the case.
In fact, you can't be courageous if you're denying the fear.
Right.
Yeah. So why is building bravery important? We'll get to the answer to that question in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like on YouTube and let me know in a comment below. If you have questions for future videos, also put them in a comment below. Remember this: don't box yourself in. Spread your wings and fly, because you, yes, you, are capable of more than you know.